pleasure.
Okay, we are back in action. Yeah, I just turned it off and turned it back on, so maybe it will work now. I'm not sure.
Eric, how are you?
Hey, Eric. So good morning.
It's magic.
Yes, we saw you in your car with your dog, yes. So everybody can see the screen.
Is that your beach that you were in?
Yep, yep. This
And did you
is
do all
my
that?
beach. I did not do this. I said, this is not my forte. I don't think of doing things like this. I think it's brilliant when people do things like this, but it doesn't come to mind for me.
Yeah.
This is creative. This is a Silvana thing, not a Missy thing, for sure.
Huh.
This is definitely a Silvana thing. Yeah, it was gorgeous. And someone did the 13 flags for the 13 soldiers and put out the stones like that. So also remember that this Saturday marks 20 years from 9/11. Can you believe it? I mean, I know I can honestly speak for everybody here and everybody on Zoom that everybody knows exactly where they were when it happened and the days following. Like I could see crystal clear where I was because I had young kids at the time, so I didn't watch news. I didn't watch anything like that, and so my daughter was watching, whatever shows she was watching, and then my husband called me to tell me, and that's when I turned the news on and just watched and could not wait till my kids got home from school. Could not wait to have them in my house. So anyway, 20 years ago, and who thought 20 years later we'd be going through an pandemic, right? Who would have ever thought? Like we thought that was the worst thing, which it really was, but I mean, it's just crazy when you think about it. All right. So, just because of this time of year, we all are in the same boat, I must say, when it comes to getting ourselves remotivated. Me, I'm no different than any of you guys. It's just, June, we feel like, oh, we're going to keep the momentum going. July, things have to slow down. Oh, I'm going to keep that momentum going. But August comes, and you're just like, okay, I have nothing left in me. I'm just gonna wait till September when it's not so hot, when the kids go back to school, whatever it is that changes for us, right? So September is here. We're on September 8th already, so it's time for us to stop procrastinating and get back to work. So get clear on why you want to do your tasks in the first place. Always your why should always come first, and you have to be passionate about your why. Take a break every 25 minutes to keep your mind fresh. So what that means is if you're going to do anything like prospecting or door hanging, whatever it is the task that you choose to do, make sure you take breaks. Don't try to overdo it because then you get cranky, you don't feel the same, it gets overwhelming. So make sure you take breaks. Do the most difficult tasks first thing in the morning. Now, I'm a morning person, so that's when everything gets done. Nothing gets done when I get home from work at night. But if you make your calls in the morning, then you'll get phone calls back throughout the day, right? When you're still working. So it's a good practice to get the things done you don't want to do, and then do the stuff that you want to do afterwards. Give yourself a reward for finishing. Set a minimum, a target, and an outrageous goal to keep you motivated. So we all have to get back motivated again. We all have to get back into business. I know I've been hearing great stories just from this weekend alone about how busy agents are getting. Helped out with the multiple offer or two yesterday already. So still multiple offers. A lot of great things are going on. So remember, this is every sales associate should be productive, especially in this market. This is as simple as our business is. Ask everyone you speak to about, have you heard about the $5,000 guarantee? It's a great conversation starter. I do it myself just to see. People love to hear about it. People love to know that they're going to save money or they're going to get a credit back. So really great information to provide. And, things happen. We've had a lot of agents come to me that their clients called a week or two after that the air conditioning broke. There's things that happen. It's just Murphy's Law. You purchase a home, you now are responsible for everything within that home. And so it's really good practice to have a home warranty, especially for someone who's a first-time home buyer who isn't handy, who doesn't understand anything mechanical. Make sure that they have at least that option, that they're aware of that option. So We have officially replaced the Jeep with the boat, okay? The Jeep has been replaced finally. Anthony gets first dibs. Anthony, you have to sign out with Peter Lee. Peter Lee has the, is the one you sign it out with. So everybody saw that Anthony, anyone who's on Facebook saw Anthony post this yellow boat, this weekend that he saw. Apparently it's only 1.7 million. So, you know, really not.
Bargain.
And that's just to buy it. That's not the gas and to store it and whatever else you have to do with it. Isn't that incredible? So, that's truly a Wiker boat, if you ask me. Okay, truly, truly. So we figured time to get rid of the old Jeep and get in with the new boat. So we put Peter Lee in charge of the sign up. It is not available until 2025, okay? Peter has signed up every weekend from now until then. But I just thought it was cute. So our office awards, yep, it's August. I mean, we're in September already, doing things for August, so love to see new faces. So for dollar volume, congratulations to Michael Elms, Lori Kaplan, and Kim Brechka. Really big numbers up there for August. For August, those are really big numbers, right? For everyone, when we consider that it slowed down. I think Michael had like 10 units. It did include rentals, but 10 units for the month of August.
That's a good month, right?
That's a good month for anybody. Yes, I would agree. I would agree that any of those numbers are a good month for anybody. Any of those numbers. So, but that's what some people do in a year if they're lucky, right? So, and then our top 10 in dollar volume, we have Michael, Lori, and Kim. Tabitha had another great month. Catherine Adcock, Lori LaForgia, Howard Rushberg, Vinda Wani, Brenda Lee and team, and Joanne Bicker. So congratulations everyone for a great month last month, especially for the month of August. We were just talking about slowing down. As far as listings, Mara, Vin, and Cheryl were our top 3 in listings for last month. So congratulations. And then our top 5 included Dennis and Lori Kaplan. So look at that, Dennis. He's so happy. We talked to him yesterday. So me and Dennis had decided yesterday he was going to come up with questions and then give me the answer so he knew what the answers were moving forward. Yeah, he thought that was a great idea. He loved that idea. And then as far as buyers, we have, I think I had, okay. As far as buyers, we have Brenda Lee and team, Lori Kaplan, and Kim Brechka for top sales for the month of August. And then our top 5 were Brenda Lee, Lori, Kim, Tabitha, and Catherine Adcock. So again, congratulations, everybody. Great month for the month of August. And then Tabitha continues her her Wiker Lead Network, or Wiker.com, I think we're calling it now, Rain, with another unit at $5.95 for the month of August. So I think she's at like 4 units this year already, just through Wiker.com. So, you know, I know a lot of people say those are not good leads, you can't convert them. I think you should convince Tabitha of that because she does a great job with it. And then congratulations to our agents who accelerated their business in August. Nancy Cassidy, Bob Balzerano, Joanna Albanese, Terry Dearness, and Diane Ladrago. We had a lot of people who accelerated in August, 90%, which is awesome. So congratulations, guys. Love to see these faces up here. Love it. So some of our office updates. So Hurricane Ida. These are pictures from New Jersey. These are destruction that happened last Wednesday night in New Jersey, okay? I mean, these homes, I think this is Mullica Hill. Yeah. Just destroyed. I mean, these were huge homes, huge homes. This was, I don't remember when that home was.
The sign.
Yeah, I know, I can't read it from here. I'll have to make it bigger later. That was,
Somerset Beach.
thank you, Somerset Patriots Stadium. And this was Manville.
The town of the South Orange Greenwood School District actually had to push back to start school. All their buses got flooded.
Yeah, just incredible. My mother lives in Belleville in Bridgebrook, if anyone's familiar with Bridgebrook condominiums, and their garages are underneath. And her car was totaled just for being in the garage. Yeah. All the cars that were in the garages were totaled. So just unbelievable, the destruction that happened last week. So I want to remind everybody it's a good practice to reach out to your clients when something like this happens. I know our first reaction is, oh God, I don't want to talk to my clients. They're going to blame me if they bought the house and why didn't I notice it and what happened? It's become my problem. But I think it turns out to be the opposite. I think a lot of people need your assistance and don't know what to do and don't know the first step, like calling their insurance company, as simple as that, right? And then moving forward. So, Kevin was on our mastermind yesterday, and he had a client who just closed, I believe, in the spring, and his foundation caved in, and a section of his foundation. So he called him upset, right? And so Kevin found out that through the town, that they have a representative that communicates directly with FEMA, and that there's money through FEMA to help these homeowners. So the first portion, or the first step they have to take, is they have to go through their homeowners insurance. If they're denied, or if they don't get, what they need, then they can go through FEMA to get additional money. So Kevin had this conversation with his client. He called the town to find out what resources were available, found this out, and then called his client back and said, this is what you do. These are the steps you take, and I'd be happy to come with you to the town when you're ready. I mean, how awesome is that? Like, that's what we should be here for. Like, we forget, I don't think that we forget these parts. We just don't, we just get caught up with what's going on in our life at the time that we don't go back to our old clients. And I think this is a great reminder that they expect us to be there forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we really promised them when we're working with them at the beginning, that we're going to take them through. We're going to grab their hand. We're going to walk them through. So I think it's really important that we call our past clients and say, hey, how did everything go last week? How was your house? Did you have any water? What can I help you with? I have a list of resources and names of people that I can provide to you. Provide them the list that we put together. Whatever it is, just something that you can do to show that, hey, I'm here for you, not only for the good times when you close, but for the bad times when you're going through things with your house. So I thought that was a great reminder that we need to be more proactive. And another thing that reminded me, and I think I shared this with you guys also, is that Naomi, our new insurance partner, called me Thursday morning and said, hey, I know we insure a few of your properties. How did everything go last night? Please let me know if any of your agents call me. Tell them to call me directly right away so I can take care of them. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be calling their clients, our clients, and making sure everything's all right. So the reason why she didn't call everyone here directly was because she felt it was more proactive to call your clients to see how they were doing and make sure she can get a handle on any problems that they had. So I thought that was really incredible. I was really impressed by that. So I wanted to share that with you. So opportunity time. Opportunity time, if you ask to be on the opportunity schedule, then you must come in for your opportunity time, or you must get someone to cover you. Okay, it's not optional. It's not like I'm going to put my name in. If I can make it, I can make it. I can't. This is your office, guys. When there's no one sitting at that desk, it's very difficult when I'm sitting with a new agent, or I'm sitting with one of you, or I'm doing a one-on-one. I have to get up to go get the door, or Stephanie's answering the phone. She's on a Zoom call with one of you guys, helping them. She has to say, hold on, and pick up the phone. It's very distracting. It's very distracting, and it is our office, and it's part of our culture and our environment. So if you decide that you want to be part of that, part of the opportunity time, because you're getting opportunities. One of our agents, Dante, says he got so many opportunities through there. He's a new agent. He got so many of his new opportunities there. So if that's something that you're looking for and you want to be on it, and you put your name and you tell Savannah, yes, I can work, then you have to be there, or you have to find somebody. It's not optional. Okay. We can't I don't want to, COVID let a lot of things fall by the wayside. I don't want that to fall by the wayside at all. Your E&O insurance is now due, so if you do not have a commission check coming in the month of September, please go onto Weichert.com and pay, Weichert1.com and pay, okay? And also remember that this is the time of the year all these fees start coming up. So that's why Weichert did in September, and then NCJR will start sending your bills out for your annual membership in October. It's not due till January, but they give you some time because they know that how hard it is during the holidays to pay all these fees, right? And again, I always tell new agents it's about $1,200 a year to be a real estate agent, which is very reasonable. If you've ever owned your own business, you're not paying rent, you're not paying electric, you're not paying, there's so many fees incurred when you own your own business, right? So it's very minimal, $1,200 a year, and one check should cover that and more, right? So it should be able to do that. But if you're not doing business, it becomes very, very cost prohibitive. I understand that. So that's why it's broken up. So remember just to plan ahead. These are the things that come up every year. And NCJR now charges like a $75 late fee if you pay afterwards. They used to be a little bit more lenient on it. If you called up, they're not lenient anymore. Like they don't play games. It's like, you knew this was coming. This is it. Like you have to pay it. So again, just remember that these fees are coming up. MLS fees are coming up at the end of the year. These are the things that come up, which is part of doing real estate. It's just part of our business. And then I just wanted to go over some reminders with NCJR. So let me just switch over here for a minute. Okay, so remember that NCJR has a lot of great resources for you. So there's always news coming out. Mary Kano sends you an email. It's probably in the same format as you see here on the website, but it's just good to know. So follow the code listing photos. This is something we talk about often, right? Because if you want to send out a postcard for something that your buyer just sold, you cannot use the photo that's on the MLS for that listing because you did not pay for it. It's not your property. Okay. So it's just a reminder, don't copy the realtor's information, don't copy anyone's information, and don't use Google Images, okay? You have to go by the house and take a picture. So good practice would be when you're at the final walkthrough, snap a picture of the house, and then once you start remembering that, you'll have pictures of all the homes that you sold and you won't have to ever go back. You'd have to get permission from that agent. It's still the agent paid for those. Weichert didn't pay for the photos, the agent did. So it's the agent's property, not Weichert's.
Could the agent charge the person, say I paid it off for this photo?
They could do whatever they want.
Maybe if you want to pay me half or something.
Certainly. I think it's just easier. I think it's easier just to say, snap a picture while you're there on your phone and you have it for your picture, right? Because nobody's going to go that crazy. I do know people who paid for photos, who have got professional ones done on like $1 million house, and then the agent was willing to get some of that money back and give those photos up. But for this one picture, just to utilize it for marketing purposes, I would say, just remember to take a picture. It's not yours.
So if you take the sold picture with a couple in front of the house and you're gonna use that, you have
I don't know if you can use that unless you get something signed from them, a disclosure sign that they're okay to be, yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to definitely have something signed.
Right, do
Yeah.
you have anything?
Not that I know of, because usually it's just a picture of the house. Well, I don't think he's talking about social media. He's talking about sending it as a mailing, right? Is that correct? That I would definitely. They can send you an email. I would have it in writing. I would definitely have it in writing. But there's a lot of classes coming up. They're already starting to do three credit classes. So tomorrow there's a realtor safety class that you could take. Everything's obviously remote. There's a lot of great classes that are coming up. I talked about the magnet calendar sale that they're having right now. Includes free envelopes too, guys, by the way. Okay. July 2021 market stats. Again, great information here at your fingertips for you. So again, take advantage of these resources that NCJR has for you. Okay, a lot of different things here, and this is just in news and events. So if you go into welcome, news and events, you can see all the latest information from them, and they're usually going over something in reference to the code. Every week there's a follow the code and something that agents, I guess, are getting more lax at. So I talked to an agent this morning. She's from Brand X. She called me in reference to a lockbox being taken off of the home that she just sold. And she got into this thing. She said, I just want to ask you a question. What do you think about this? I'm selling I have a listing in that same development. And I went in the other day to go grab something, and I was like shocked because The buyers were in the house. And there was a kitchen table there that was not my seller's, because my seller's, it's vacant, my sellers have moved out, and they were putting groceries in the refrigerator. And I said, they were like, oh, you scared me. And she was like, no, you scared me. Like, what are you doing here? And apparently the buyer's agent is going away in 2 weeks, so gave them the keys, gave them the garage code. They actually had the garage opener in their car already.
Oh, my God.
I mean, and she's like, what do you, she was so upset. And I said, oh, it's clearly unethical.
That's also.
Because it was sitting on the counter. They had everything on the counter for when it closes, and the agent went and took it and handed it to her client. So she said, please give me everything back. This is my client's house. For insurance purposes, you should not be in here. Who gave you permission to be in here? I mean, so that's what's happening out there, right? Agents are, and this buyer's agent apparently has been in the business for 20 years or so. So it's not like a new agent that we can even blame. They don't know, they're not having. They're like, what am I supposed to do? I said, they're supposed to get someone, a representative from their office to handle everything if they're not going to be home. So again, like, just beware. Yep.
And the other thing you might want to mention, that anytime they want to go back in that house, you have to ask permission from the listing agent. You just
Always.
can't go in that house.
Always.
anytime you want.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Carol. Because it specifically states in the contract that they can go in for the home inspection, for a pre-walkthrough and a final walkthrough. Those are the 3 times your client can go in per the contract to that listing. Not when they want their painter to come in and take a look, not when they want to measure for floors, not when they want to measure for furniture, right? If the seller lets them in, great. But if the seller doesn't, you have to let them know that that's not something that's part of the contract. Don't make them be mad at the seller for not allowing them in. And they have to understand that that's not how it works. And that's a great point about being vacant, because I've known a lot of people who knew a house was vacant, agents who've gotten in trouble. I've gotten calls from other agents saying, your agent went through the house the other day and didn't even call. And in the agent's mind, they were like, well, it's vacant and I'm right by it and my client wanted to see it. So we just ran in. I knew nobody was gonna be there, but that's not allowed. You're not allowed to access anybody's property legally without permission. End of story. It doesn't matter the situation. It does not matter the situation. So again, these are just reminders every week that they put up, and they're good reminders that we all could use, right? Because sometimes, again, we all get a little lax on some things, or we think we can do it once and get away with it, and it's not how it
So
happens.
if you're the listing agent and vacant,
Mhm.
and the buyer's agent, for instance, said, like, people want to go in and measure something, you have to call the owner, you know, it's vacant. If you're.
100%, 100%, yes. This contract does not stipulate if it's vacant, you can go in any time, but if it's owner occupied, you
Sometimes
have
they
to
go in and
ask.
find fault, and then there's a little, and then you let them in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they are not, it's not an open-ended time that they can just go in once that seller accepts their contract, that, oh, I can go in for this and I can go in for that. No, it's not allowed. It's actually a huge inconvenience for someone, right? They're still living in their house. They're
No, I
packing.
said vacant,
But
you
still,
know,
either
they can
way.
go and look for nitpick things,
Yeah.
going over it.
Yeah, I would, again, it's up to your seller. The sellers say, yes, it's vacant, they can have access to it, then that's fine. If they don't, they don't. And then just a reminder, I know this is very small, but this is the new rules, and I'll share this with everybody with my meeting slides today, but what's changed this year as far as Circle of Excellence goes, right? So this is a time that I want to start meeting with agents again, going over if they're close to Circle of Excellence, what's going on with their numbers, because I know you can't wait till December and then realize you're 1 unit short or you're $500,000 short, right? You want to know now so that you can sort of motivate yourself and get yourself going and get that business in. So if you want another RPAC unit, like if you need that you need to know by October 1st, right? That's $100 to RPAC, right? That's the contribution. There's other ways to get units as well by volunteering, but you have to sign up for them now. Don't wait till November, December, because then everybody's trying to sign up and there's no, opportunities available at that time. So again, they've changed a lot. It's now more electronic. It's not the way it used to be. And now they've changed a little bit more this year. Okay. So it just goes over it and I'll share it with you guys today. Let me get back to my screen. Okay. And then one last thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is for everybody, so please feel free to type in the chat box. Halloween party. We have been talking about doing the Halloween party this year. In fact, we were able to secure a date at the Elks Club, the place we normally have it. But we need to have the people who want to participate that, who are comfortable in participating in that. So I'd love to know your feelings about doing the Halloween party this year. So if you can send me yes or no Halloween party in the chat box, I'd appreciate it. And then, we'll talk to the people that are here in person. Okay. So you really want to know if that's something we can get going again. I know a lot of people that we've talked to so far are interested in it, and that's why we decided to bring it up again. Okay, so Halloween party for this upcoming Halloween.
Everybody can wear that.
Everybody could wear masks. It took me a few minutes for everything to go through my brain. So I'm gonna, before I share with you this slide, the next slide, I just want to go through a 2-minute quick mindset motivation. I know not everybody's a Tom Ferry fan, but I think it's a great way. It just really goes over what I constantly talk about in reference to consistency and doing the right thing and the same thing all the time. Tom, what's going on?
It's about you looking in the mirror and asking yourself.
How come you're all the way over there?
It's about you looking in the mirror and asking
I can't get Tom to start.
It's about you looking in the mirror and asking yourself, how can I just get 1%? There's no such thing as an overnight success. Stop looking for it. I'm 11.
I don't know why it won't let me go back, especially since I didn't listen to it.
It's about you looking in the mirror and asking yourself, how can I just get 1% better in this piece of my life or in this piece of my business? And then setting the time aside to get better, to improve.
That's right.
There's absolutely no such thing as an overnight success. You show me someone that has had a meteoric rise in their career, and I will show you a person that has put in years, if not decades, over and over doing the things that gave them the power, that allowed them to elevate their career and suddenly have a voice, the success they want. That's what it takes. So many people are always looking for what's the fastest way to get there? What's the easiest way to get there? I'm gonna tell you, I just looked on my phone. I'm 11,316 days into what will finish at the end of September, my 32nd year of doing this. And it wasn't until 8 years ago that, I don't know, all the work started to show up. Call that 22, 23 years of doing it, delivering value, making changes, making phone calls, helping people, moving things forward. And then suddenly you get recognized. My point to you is simply this. Wherever you find yourself today, life is a marathon, and being successful, being of value, being of worth to others takes time. It's about you looking in the mirror and asking yourself, how can I just get 1% better in this piece of my life or in this piece of my business? And then setting the time aside to get better, to improve. And then you know what happens? 22 years later, they're like, that gal's kicking ass. She's doing really good. Or that guy's really made a name for himself. Stop looking for the quick fixes. Stop looking for the fastest hacks. We know what it is. It's about the brilliant basics. It's about recognizing the things that you do that make a difference in your business and doing them over and over and over and over. And even when you don't feel like doing it, you do it anyway. It's called scaling yourself by doing the brilliant basics. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Stop looking for it. I'm 11,316 days in based upon my calculation, and you know what? I'm still working on it every day, and I hope you are too.
I really like that because it's true. There's no quick fixes, guys. There's no easy way to get business. You just have to do the hard work. The harder you work, the luckier you get, as they say. So just a quick reminder of that. Let me get back onto my slides. Okay, so fall back into real estate, getting your mojo back, re-energizing your business. That's what it's all about. Going back to the basics. So when you're planning your activities, this is the big one. Nothing happens in real estate without consistency. In order to stay consistent, you should focus on key performance indicators. These are trackable items that will lead to a successful real estate career. Most agents track their GCI and deals, but do they track their daily conversations? Tracking your key performance indicators, your KPIs, will be eye-opening. Often, agents are surprised by how few conversations they set targets. Then if that's you, you're gonna get your butt whipped, okay? Mute all. Okay, there we go. Set targets and consistently hit them, and you will be producing at a high level before you know it. It is recommended that speaking to a minimum of 10 people a day, so that includes face-to-face conversations, phone conversations, and text conversations. Emails do not count, but should make up part of your daily prospecting. So just some things to help you, right? Nobody can do everything. You have to take the things that you enjoy doing or that you know you're going to do. Those are the things you should be focusing on. So gratitude and affirmations 1 time a day, time management, plan your calendar 1 time a week, face-to-face conversations 5 to 10 times daily, phone conversations 5 to 10 times daily, phone call attempts 5 to 10 times daily, text messages and social messages, right? So you can private message someone on social media, right? Instead of going onto their feed when it's their birthday, you can private message them, something. You know who does that? If any of you guys are friends with them, you'll know Senator Anthony Bucco. He does that. He will send you a private happy birthday message in your private message. So it's more personal from him, right? You're like, wow, he took the time to private, right? Versus on your thing. So just think about those little things that you can do. Open houses 1 time a week minimum. Community events 1 time monthly. Real estate evaluations 2 times weekly. Facebook Live video 1 time weekly. Market report video 1 time monthly, and email newsletters 1 time monthly. So if you look at this real estate evaluations, I just went through to you on NCJR. They have updates, right? You go on to Keeping Currents Matter. They have updates. So there's an easy way for you to get that information. I'm not asking you to recreate the wheel and spend hours to pull that information together. There's places that you can get that information easily. Facebook Live video. It should be like 30 seconds. It shouldn't be a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Market report video. Again, going over the market report, what's going on in our current market. And then email newsletters. A lot of this stuff can be done right through KV4. You don't even have to think about it. You could set it and forget it. So you could do it early in the month and do it for the rest of the month. If there's holidays coming up, you want to do a market evaluation report, whatever it is, or you could do it on a weekly basis, whatever it is, and then set it for when you want it to go out, and it's done. So again, just to re-energize and get our mojo back and get us busy again, these are some of the activities we have to do. The results will come later as long as we're consistent with doing the activities all the time. So we have 2 new training series starting next week. So this, on Monday, 9:13, 12:30, learn from the legacies, geared for newer agents, but all are invited. Everybody's invited to this. And Thursdays at 12:30, starting next Thursday, 9:16, fall back into real estate. This is for every agent. And that's going to be an accountability session. So we have different things we're going to go over each week, and then we're going to ask you to roll up your numbers, and then we're going to give you some type of homework or something that you can do to help grow your business for the following week. Our kickoff happy hour was supposed to be next Thursday. Because of the holiday, we've switched it to Monday, September 20th, 4 to 6 p.m. at Tommy's Tavern. Okay, so put that in your calendars. It's Monday, September 20th. So here's some of the upcoming self-development sessions we have from Learn from Legacy. So Tabitha is going to start us off this Monday with building a pipeline of business, okay? And how she learned getting 4 appointments a week is what she needs to do in order to be successful, okay? Understanding appraisals. Cheryl Towie is going to go over appraisals, right? That's something that we all have questions about this year, especially more so than ever. And she was an appraiser, so she has great answers and great information and what you need to do to prepare for your appraiser coming in. We better than get the commissions you deserve from Eric Troutman, right? He has that down pat. And then, I forgot about Catherine. I'm so sorry, Catherine. Monday, September 27th, open houses with Catherine Adcock. She has great dialogue. She has a great, easy way about her. And she is able to convert a lot of her clients through open houses. And then Monday, October 11th, GSMOS tips and practices. Okay. And I'm going to keep doing that. So I'll be asking, the agents, if I haven't asked you yet, it's not because I don't think very highly of you. I didn't have the opportunity. There are certain things in my mind that I wanted to get, want to do the trainings on right away. And so that's what I based it on. So it will be in person or via Zoom. There'll be a link. I will send it out to you. Obviously, there's a link right there. But again, just to keep us going. And I think, who better to learn from than people who are doing really well in certain pieces of our business, right? Learn from the best. And then Stephanie sent out our September training calendar already. So that's out. She emailed it and she'll probably get it out to you again if you need it. So Stephanie.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Just real quick, I have only just 2 slides. So I'm going to start this each week, show you guys what we have company-wide in my Weicker as far as the good and the bad. So we have 29,902 people who are on property alerts and 583 that are getting those behavior alerts when they go to your website. 15,591 that are on smart campaigns and lead engagement. And this is the past 7 days. I should start by saying that this is the past. This is just looking at the week.
And this is our office.
Like all our office.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point where we are. Obviously it's not in 1 week, but these are where we are as far as our numbers at this point. So phone calls 574, text message 7,191, emails a lot, 269,000, it's probably close because of Eric. Property views, so 62 people have been looking at our properties on our websites, and again, this is over 100 agents in this office. So unfortunately, we have a lot of people that don't have things set up that we, can look at. I can look at it as the agent level too. If you want to work with me directly, we can, work on getting these numbers down. So this last column here, we want to work on those coming down. We want to get those numbers lower. So there you can see property alerts, 164 change, 164,000 change, don't have a property alert set up for whatever reason. They might be sphere people, they might be people that don't need that, or they're sellers or whatnot. Obviously that number is never going to be 0. Same with market reports. We have a lot of people should be getting market reports. It's a very, like Missy was saying, set it and forget it. You can set it to go out once a month. If they, just purchase the house, even they can get market reports, kind of see what's going on in their town. I still do that. No active campaigns is 166,000. Again, probably a similar reason. They don't need a campaign. You already follow up with them. Again, these numbers are never going to be 0, but to get them down would be good. And then 24,000 change of unsubscribed to our emails for whatever reason. So again, never going to be 0, but be nice to just kind of level that number off, get people to be interested in what you're saying instead of having them unsubscribe. So each week, I'll show this as our baseline, and then each week I'll show our numbers where they are for the following weeks to see if we can get those numbers up and down. So things that we can do to get those numbers up. So set up your buyers on property alerts. It's very simple to do. Much rather you did this in GSMOS only because you're able to really see. So if somebody clicks on a property alert and they click on that property, it goes to your website. And right away, your face, your cell phone number follows them around. And you get that information on your dashboard, what they're looking at and when, how many times they look at it. There's good information to have versus them going to Zillow or Realtor, someplace else to potentially get information that isn't accurate. Our websites are accurate.
When the campaign send a listing to them, or the property alert sends them a listing, then it sends them a text or email saying, did you get the properties I sent you? How do we know? Because like I'll get guys, one guy, I really like the blue one. I can't figure out what houses were sent to them.
So you can actually go into the person's timeline and review what that property alert looked like. So you can go to the
Oh, okay.
person's timeline and it will say property alert was sent, September 8th in the morning. You can go back and click view email and you can actually see the properties that they got.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's easy to do that way too. And also on your dashboard, you'll be able to see those properties that that person looked at on that level also. So that would be the best thing to do.
And
But
on the
again, if they're
dashboard,
going, if they're looking at your email, then they're going to Zillow, you won't know, obviously. But, if they're coming straight from your email to your website, your KV Core will pick up that information and you're also able to view the email that was sent. And you can, if they're getting them on an ASAP or a daily basis, you can see each one. So if you say, oh, that was the one that you sent me last Thursday, this way you can kind of see that.
Sure.
But you know how to look on their timeline by just clicking on their name, and then that little feed of everything, anything you sent them, whatever, that's their timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't show up in the dashboard unless they actively search the property.
If they click on it.
Yeah.
So if they click on the property from the email, it goes to your website. That information is what you'll see on the dashboard. If they just look at it on the email and don't click on it, you won't know that information.
Okay, it'll
Obviously.
just stop it.
Yeah, so they would actually have to actively click on that,
Okay.
say, see more property information, which would take them to your
Sorry,
website.
that's good. Fine.
Yeah, you would have to, you start with the timeline and then maybe take it from there.
Great.
So another thing we can do, you put your buyers on property alerts, the behavior alerts go up. So the behavior alerts are when somebody goes to your website, depending on what we have it set at, you say they didn't come to your website for 2 weeks and all of a sudden they're there like every single day. Well, what happened is KV Core will automatically send them a text message that says, hey, I see you're looking at these properties. Please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks, Stephanie. So those behavior alerts will go up, and that's good. That means, it's automatically following up with them. If you're not in front of the computer, you can't see that information at real time, but KV Core is set up to be able to follow up with that person in real time, which is great. The second thing that we can do to get those behavior alerts to go up, also, we want those numbers to increase. Set up your past clients on monthly market reports, which I just mentioned. So they move to, Parsippany, and, maybe just to keep them on a monthly email, to just keep them in the know, to make sure that they understand what's going on around them, that, maybe their neighbor's house is going up for sale or just got sold, they might want to know that information, kind of what's going on in the real estate market in Parsippany would be interesting. Some people like that. So it's something that you can do after the client closes, just to keep up with them. So that your behavior alerts go up with that as well. So sending your holiday messages, which Missy just mentioned, you can set those up now. I mean, Halloween's coming up, Thanksgiving, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah just passed, Christmas is coming up. You can set those up to go to your entire database now. Like, just don't even think about it. It's done for you. And we want those engagement numbers to go up, and that, adds to those engagement numbers. So another thing you can do is when a transaction closes, add in the closing date in the last closed field. Automatically will send them like a happy home anniversary every single year, as long as you have that information in the last close. So we'll send them one a year from the date that it closes, not the day they close, but a year from the date that they close. Again, engagements go up. It's a nice little email, happy home anniversary. Same with birthdays, or if you know the person's birthday, you can have that in as well. So also asking for testimonials. Now we've talked about this before. There is a testimonial, an ask for testimonial email already in there if you want to utilize that. And sending out a mass text as long as you have the permission to current active clients about any new listing. We talk about new listings every week here. Maybe something that might be, I like doing a featured property of the week or something like that. Send out a text message with a link to your website. Again, those engagements go up, your behavior alerts go up. Staying in front of them is what we like to do. And all of these things just add to your value. Because he always talks about our value. I think that all of these things show how valuable you are. We have what Whitebridge is backing us on all this stuff, so it's really great. And I think that showing that, you never know, you might be getting more referrals. Any questions, guys? Any questions here? Any questions other than that for me? I'm back in the office. If you want to set up one-on-ones, I'm here. I'm here hopefully for a while.
That's how I hope you all would start off the this September, this fall kickoff, I would hope you'd also started off by setting up time consistently with Stephanie, whether it's once every week, once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, whatever your schedule allows, an hour one-on-one, just to get 3 things done so that you can get your system set up and it works on your behalf when you're sleeping, when you're out to dinner, when you're doing business with other clients, whatever it is, it's automatically working for you, which is what everyone should want their business to do, right? That's what we all would want. So make sure you're setting up time, especially now, it's huge. Anthony.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Update from last week's market. The highlight of the week was the jobs report. The increase of 235,000 new jobs was disappointing. However, the unemployment rate moved down by 0.2%, and the previous 2 months of reports were revised upward by 135,000 jobs. That happens like literally month over month. However, wages increased more than expected, and continuing concern regarding inflation. So the overall number was disappointing. The markets did not react significantly. The bond and stock markets were fairly stable after the release. I think that had a lot to do with the holidays too, as well. This week is a short week because of the holiday. We'll feature a release of oil inventories. The price of oil continues to be a concern, which is heightened because of the recent storm damage. Self-employment. We've talked about this many times before. Some of our applicants and buyers are not a W-2 or get a pay stub. They actually own their own business, or they are part of a business. When you own more than 25% of a business, you're considered self-employed. Typically at that point, we're requiring a 2-year history of self-employment, meaning you have to have owned that business for at least 2 years. If you don't own the business for 2 years, you're typically not eligible to use that income to qualify. So a lot of times people feel that they work in a business or work for a company and now they're going to go out on their own, and they might have a great first year. However, though, they need to show 2 years worth of owning that business, having the business established for 2 years worth of tax returns. So we could take kind of that average, if you would, in regards to income. A lot of people don't realize that when they start a business and then they hope to purchase. I had this conversation with a gentleman yesterday. He was a W-2 person, went on his own, had a great, or he's having a great first year, almost 9-10 months in. But unfortunately, when I told him what he had to do in waiting, he was a little bit upset, unfortunately. Keep in mind when income is variable, we will take an average. Also, a big key thing with self-employment, if you're a self-employed business owner for at least 5 years, the conventional Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines, you typically only need 1 year's worth of tax returns. So you don't need that 2 years. That's what makes when you have a business that you're going for 5 years attractive for conventional financing. But for any of the government, VA, FHA, USDA, you do require 2 years worth of tax returns. Obviously, there's a lot of calculations that go into how we calculate that income over the last 2 years. Typically, calculating income, like I mentioned, if you took 2020 and 2019, you would take that average and divide it by 2. So you would have an average if someone made 50,000 in 19 and 80,000 in 20. Your 50 plus the 80 is 130 divided over 2. You're not just using the most recent year like someone would be if they got a raise and they had a pay stub or W-2. You're able to use that as their current income. When you're working with someone like a Schedule C, which all of you are as far as realtors and stuff like that, if you made 100,000 in commissions in 19, then you had 50,000 in expenses, you only have 50,000 in usable income for that year. So a lot of times people don't realize that too as well. When you're working with 1099 income, or people maybe are consultants and stuff, a lot of people just see that total number. So that's really, really, really important to know, because that's why the 2 years worth of returns are important, because there's obviously expenses that they calculate. Every time I speak to a self-employed customer, I was texting one literally while waiting for me to step up. As I'm waiting for him to provide me his tax returns, I don't ever pre-approve a buyer unless I fully see them. It's critically important. A lot of times people think that they get a 1099, they might even think it's a W-2 and don't realize what the difference is. Some people think their W-2 is their tax returns. They don't realize the two different either. So that's why it's very important when we do pre-approvals, me personally, I really drill down with the client and get all their information. Any
Okay,
questions
guys.
around self-employment or anything? One more thing too as well. Just be very aware. We're getting a lot of this right now. I messaged last week when the storm hit regarding a lot of things happening with weather and everything related. Just to let you know, whether sellers or buyers, if you have a buyer right now and the appraisal was done prior to the storm last week, all those properties pretty much need field reviews. So what that means is appraisal was done, let's say the 29th of August. Unfortunately, the storm came through and the appraisal was done and was as is, everything was fine. And you're closing next week, you might get held up because an appraiser has to go back out there to re-inspect the property. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's guideline to that is just a field review, which is an external view of the house, not inside. I guess they just want to make sure the house looks to be okay and standing. That's FEMA's guidelines to us regarding that. So that's coming up right now and it's causing a delay, challenging people, delaying their closings too as well. Some properties, as we know, we get property inspection waivers. You know, sometimes you talk about, hey, this one we don't need an appraisal on, regardless if the buyer's waiving the appraisal. But us as the lender, based on down payment equity position, sometimes we don't need appraisals. You've heard me mention that before. If we don't need an appraisal, well, there's no appraiser to call for an inspection, right? What we do need is either seller, agent, go out to the property. They want interior and exterior photos of the house because we've never had anything before. And whoever provided the pictures, excuse me, to give a consent that everything is A-okay and there's no damage to the house. So just be very aware for your sellers and your buyers. If anything is coming up soon, you're expecting to close, I can only tell you mostly everything in our area that we're doing business in. I was on the phone with my processor for probably about an hour and a half, and she was running what we call fraud guard on the back end, but it determines whether or not the property is in a disaster area. So all we were doing was sending emails to our vendor team that orders appraisals, field reviews. Now what am I doing? Emailing the attorneys and the agents. FYI, they won't get a call if it's an external report. They don't need to get any access to the house, but we have to get this done. Potentially this could delay us.
What's the turnaround look like?
So that's the question that we're going on right now, and I don't have an answer right now. And that's the frustrating part right now.
How does that, that go against that $5,000?
That's another good question, Eric. I don't have an answer on that either
That's a
too.
really good question.
So I've spent a lot of time over the last day and a half. That's out of our control. I don't know where that's going to come in. And then also rate locks come into play too as well, right? So there's a lot of things kind of going on. This is what they call a natural disaster. And some things are out of our control, but I'll keep everybody posted as I learn kind of more regarding that. As this is stuff that's not our delays, but it's like Nancy just said, it's an act of God, unfortunately. You know, I mean, sometimes this happens in the winter months with snowstorms, you know, and we have snowstorms and issues that way, and we have things going on. It comes up at that point, but again, we didn't have the guarantee in place at that point too as well. And I feel like at that time, we're able to kind of navigate this. It's just like a much more larger, major kind of event kind of happening right now. So I'll kind of keep everybody posted, but I mean, I was on the phone with my processor and we probably sent about 30 emails to my appraisal team, just going order. So the problem is I'm messaging all the buyers with the agents and the attorneys going, here's where we're at. You know, some of these are more sensitive because they're closing in the next 5, 10, 15 days. I don't have a date and time yet because these appraisers are just getting dumped on. They have to go back out to the property they just saw a week ago, right? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, in between scheduling their regular appraisal appointment. So I'm trying to get an idea that if the management companies that hires the appraisers are giving any kind of service level agreement that, hey, we're guaranteeing these back in 5 days, are they 7 days, 9 days, 2 weeks? I don't know. Because it poses a challenge. You have buyers that schedule the movers already, right? It's just a lot of moving parts. And then sellers want to know what's going on. Are they going to hit the TOE? You know, because sellers and everybody, truthfully, who cares, right? You know, sadly, there's no compassion for anybody right now. And it's just one of those things that we're just kind of crossing it as we hit it. But this just came up literally yesterday. I had to stop what I was doing and make sure everybody was in the know on what was going on with all deals, because it could potentially delay us. And I have a couple files that were closing this week where, you know, I had a property inspection waiver, so we didn't need an appraisal. So I found out that one on Friday. We were able to get photos over the weekend, so I'm still trying to make that happen for this Friday. So that was a little easier, but I have buyers that had appraisals and they're like, hey, the seller lives around the block. We can look at pictures. I'm like, unfortunately, the appraiser, because an appraisal was done, needs to inspect the house. So everybody's bombarding our operations staff to say, what can we do? Can we do a favor? Can we do this? This is a personal list. It's just a lot of moving parts right now. So everybody's got to just be a little patient. I'll get you some more information, but if you have any deals that are not with me or outside, I kind of get that ball rolling as it could be, you know, delaying on the other.
So is it safe to assume then that a regular appraiser is going to be held up maybe a little bit longer getting out
Oh,
because
of
now
course.
they're doing
They're
all
already
these
held up.
other.
They're already held up being busy as it is.
Right,
We already went
exactly.
through this the last year and a half with everything going on with COVID. So now just think about it. Now they got to figure out another point in time to hit another few more of these on their daily run to just get to a home and fire off a couple exterior photos. They have to do a report. So it's not even just photos. They have to do a 2-page report that the review is to say that, they've re-reviewed the property. Well, they could see there's no value or issue or anything, challenging at that point. And then who knows what that looks like either too as well.
No,
It's just, a lot going on and
that is crazy.
it is, unfortunately. So if you have any questions around it, let me know. But if you're, listing a property and something's closing in the next day or so, and they're getting a mortgage, I would be proactive in dropping a note to that lender, that agent, that attorney, and just say, hey, I was on a conference call. I heard this is going on. Is this going to affect us in any way whatsoever? All right.
All right, so guys, you ready for the question? If you don't have any questions, okay. Guys, remember, put your answers in the chat box. Everybody here has their paper. And let's go. According to Zillow, the average monthly rent price hit what in July? 9.2% higher than 1 year before. So is it A, just over $1,840 monthly? B, just $2,500 monthly? C, just over $1,280 monthly? Or D, just under $1,500 monthly? First American just confirmed owning is cheaper than renting in the largest 50 metros in the US. Dennis, are you there? And quiet?
Well, that's the answer coming in.
That's the answer coming in. Okay. Anthony, I don't even know what it is.
What is the answer?
Are you done?
Does that matter?
I believe everybody has put their one new message. Okay, Kevin got in. All right, guys, gonna count to 5 and your messages better be in. Oh, everybody wants to know what Lonnie said. Everybody's like, right. Lonnie said A.
That's why I chose A.
Kelly said that's why she chose A.
Is it right? What's the answer?
Cheaper,
Ready?
right?
Yeah, it's already A.
Hey.
That's a lot of these.
Yep. People are getting smart there. They look at what, Lonnie, you have to post last
Right.
because they're all
Sorry.
looking for your answer and they're all following you. Which is smart.
That's when Lanny or either Dennis get the
Yeah.
Is Dennis on? What did he get?
Apparently not, because you know him, he does his final answer before I'm finished reading the question. No, I was talking to him yesterday. I was telling everybody, I was talking to him yesterday and we thought it would be a great idea if he made up the questions and the answers, but none of you knew that that's where I got them from. So, so he would know all the answers moving forward.
Remind them to put the stuff in the chat box about the online board.
Yes, I did see some. I saw some, maybe
Maybe even email.
yeah, an email too would be good. What am I doing? Make it go to bed. Alls I know is, oh, Kevin said boo, because he answered C. Kelly said yes, yay, Halloween. Deb talked about NJMLS, and Bev Nichols just said ha 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 ha. Bev, you have the best costumes ever.
Oh.
You can start planning now. And we can start preparing ourselves. So our local market absorption rate for this week, as you can see, the amount of listings is under a little bit, right, than it was in the prior week. Most of these, and the under contract is a little under than it was in the previous weeks, but the absorption rate is still 2 or under. And I did update the days on market and the average sold percentage, list price to sold price percentage, because they update it once a month and it's usually a lag in it. So it takes, I have to wait for them to update it. So all of the percentages have went up. Morris Plains is at 103% now, and all the days on market went down at least 10 days. Okay, from the prior month's stats, which are it's a 6-month range. Okay, an average of 6 months. So from the prior months to now, the days on market were down about 10, and every list price to sale price was up about 1%. Except for Boonton Town, they stayed at 102, so they stayed consistent at 102%. And their days of market did go down a few days, so crazy, right? When you look at these numbers, and you know, I'll share with you next week where where the fall market is going, but it's heating up. It's definitely heating up. So some of our new listings on the market, we have Victoria Meechin with 332 Greenbrier in Union Township for $340. Kelly, do you want to talk about your new listing at 17 Bucknell? I know she's on the beach.
It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom ranch. Nicely updated. Pictures will be going live shortly, and it's in a coming soon status now. I think it comes on the market officially on Monday, but Eric can correct me if that's incorrect.
Well, since we're doing an open house Sunday, it officially comes on Sunday.
Oh, well then, there we go.
She's on the beach. She has beach brain right now.
Damn
Beach
right.
hair and beach brain, I'm sure. Right? You have beach hair?
Total beach hair.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations. Again, great new
And
listing.
that listing was from postcards.
Oh, that was from postcards. So that's right. So Eric shared with me that he does send out just sold postcards in the neighborhood.
Kellyanne did that.
Kelly did it, and that's how they got a call. And Vin's been very fortunate with, Dotwani Way, as we call it in Mountain, what is it called? Mountain View? Yes, Richard Mine Road. Yes. We're getting opportunities from his cards that are going out in that development. So do not underestimate the power of postcards and farming. Even in a digital age that we're in, people still look at the postcards. They still look at their mail every day. So Vin, I'm not sure if you're on.
Yes.
Okay, please tell us about 23 Winona Ave.
This is an east-facing home, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, nice level, fenced-in yard, priced at $499. It has a carport. It's in Lake Hiawatha, non-flood zone. They had 5 people on Saturday, 8 people on Sunday at the open house. Anybody wants to sit it this weekend, you can sign up on the board.
Awesome. Thank you, Vin. 21 Oneida Ave is, I believe, gone. It was the highest and best last night by 5 o'clock. So that was a very popular property. Lori, again, not sure if you're on. I can't see any of my peeps right now. So let us know if you want to talk about 44 Puddingstone Drive in Boonton Town for $590. Going once, going twice. Anyone else have any price improvements in search of new rentals? Anything
I
that
have
you
two.
share?
I have 2 listings at Richard Mine Road coming out
Oh,
this
really?
week.
How surprising, Ben.
One is a 2nd floor, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, hardwood floors with a basement, priced at $195. Just put that on yesterday. And I have another one coming out today for rent and for sale. I got him to do both, take whichever comes first. So that one has a double wide garage, laundry in the unit, dishwasher, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1st floor. And I have it priced for rental for $1,700 and for sale for $200.
Nice.
And that's it.
That's enough. You got a lot there. You got a lot going on. Anyone else have anything new coming on? Okay, so guys, breakfast next week. I said I wasn't going to do pumpkin spice anything until October minimally because I'm not ready to give up summer, but I will do pumpkin spice and regular pancakes next week here if you come in along with our bagels. So we'll have a big fall kickoff week next week. And then don't forget September 20th in your calendar for happy hour at Tommy's Tavern. Okay, anyone else have anything else they want to add? All right, we'll have a great week and I will see you hopefully in the office. Savannah's hair looks great, but you have to come in to see it in person, okay?
Bye, Missy.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.